Hi guys, welcome back. If you're looking for your next favorite read, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit subscribe and let's jump in.
Hello, beautiful souls. It's Lily from Books4Soul. Today, I want to ask you something that might stir your soul. In this age of endless possibilities, why do so many of us still feel trapped? Have you ever sensed invisible chains holding you back from the life you're meant to live? Today, we'll explore this profound question through a literary masterpiece that has touched countless hearts. Of Human Bondage by Somerset Maugham. Before we begin, I want to share something deeply personal. Like many of you, I've known the weight of feeling trapped, not by physical bars, but by my own thoughts, choices, and the relationships that shaped me. Benjamin Franklin once shared a truth that echoes through time. In life, there are two treasures: freedom of thought and freedom of movement. Yet here we are, in a world of physical freedom, often feeling bound by invisible chains that turn our life's journey into a constant struggle for self-liberation. Why does true freedom often feel just out of reach, no matter how hard we try? The answer lies in three universal chains that bind us all, chains we often lack the awareness to see or the courage to break. If we don't recognize and release these bonds, we risk remaining forever constrained, never tasting the sweet freedom and joy we deserve. Today, we'll explore these three chains through the timeless wisdom of Human Bondage, a semi-autobiographical masterpiece by Somerset Maugham. Some of you might remember our journey through his other work, The Moon and Sixpence. What makes this book extraordinary is that Maugham began writing it at 23, but didn't complete it until 37. A testament to how deeply personal and transformative this story was for him. When it finally emerged, the world recognized it as a work of genius, and it quickly became a classic that continues to resonate across languages and generations. Are you ready to discover these three chains and learn how to break free? Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery together, guided by the timeless wisdom within of Human Bondage. Our first chain is one that binds so many of us, the chain of self-consciousness and insecurity. Through Philip, our protagonist, we see a reflection of struggles that might feel all too familiar. Picture this: orphaned young, raised by a rigid conservative uncle, and born with a physical disability that makes every step a reminder of being different. This was Philip's reality, and it colored every aspect of his world. Can you recall moments when you felt different or imperfect? For Philip, every step was a reminder of his perceived inadequacy. The cruel taunts of lame fool from classmates didn't just sting in the moment. They became a shadow he couldn't escape, shaping him into someone withdrawn, self-conscious, and painfully attuned to others' opinions. But here's where the story takes a profound turn. Years later, as an accomplished doctor, Philip meets a young boy with a similar disability. Instead of carrying Philip's heavy burden of self-consciousness, the child simply shrugs and says, "It just doesn't look very pretty, that's all." This simple statement strikes Philip like lightning, making us wonder, why do we let others define what's beautiful or perfect? Here lies a painful truth: the more we chase perfection and acceptance, the more power we give to others' opinions over our own well-being. It's a vicious cycle, where we become prisoners of our insecurities, shackled by the very fears we've created. Our second chain is especially relevant today: persistence in wrong directions. Career choices are a universal challenge. Philip's uncle pushed him toward ministry, while his aunt dreamed of him becoming a doctor. But isn't it true that sometimes, in rebelling against others' expectations, we simply end up lost in our own choices? Philip's journey takes a pivotal turn when he rejects both paths and chooses accounting. But here's the revelation. This safe choice awakens in him a deep yearning for something more meaningful, something that truly resonates with his soul. Drawn to art, Philip convinces his uncle to support his studies in Paris. At first, this feels like true liberation. He's finally following his passion. But through the tragic story of a fellow student, Price, who persists in art despite lacking talent and ultimately takes her own life, Philip learns a vital lesson. There's a difference between genuine passion and stubborn persistence. This leads us to essential questions. What truly sets your soul on fire? What makes you lose track of time? When do you feel most alive and authentic? These aren't just philosophical musings, they're practical tools for breaking free from the chain of misguided persistence. Now we come to the third and perhaps most emotionally challenging chain, the one forged by wrong relationships. This is a topic that touches us all deeply, because who among us hasn't felt the powerful grip of a relationship that both captivates and confines us? In Paris, Philip meets Mildred, and his story becomes a poignant lesson in how love can become our heaviest chain. Despite seeing her bitterness, materialism, and deceitfulness, Philip falls into obsessive infatuation. Have you ever been there? Where your mind screams walk away, but your heart keeps pulling you back? What makes Philip's story so painfully relatable is how this unrequited love slowly chips away at his self-worth. It's a stark reminder of how we sometimes confuse emotional dependency with love, letting ourselves be diminished by someone who doesn't value us. When Mildred disappears into a life of prostitution, it becomes a harsh but necessary wake-up call. The most profound realization comes when Philip understands that his feelings weren't really about Mildred. What he was truly in love with was his own ego, his desires, and his stubborn attachment to an idealized version of love. This is a revelation we all need. True love is about empathy and freedom, not possession or control. Take a moment to reflect on your own relationships. Are they sources of growth and freedom, or chains that hold you back? Often, the hardest part isn't recognizing toxic relationships. It's finding the courage to break free. Only when we're brave enough to remove these chains can we truly learn to love ourselves and others in a healthy, liberating way. Consider this. How many of our chains are self-imposed? Philip's journey shows us that whether it's our insecurities, misguided persistence, or toxic relationships, the key to freedom often lies in our own hands. It's about seeing these chains for what they are and choosing to begin the journey of liberation. A single thought can lead us to darkness, just as a single thought can lead us to light. Our destiny shifts with our mindset. The question isn't whether we have chains, we all do. The real question is, are we ready to acknowledge them and take that first step toward freedom? Through Philip's journey of Human Bondage, we uncover a profound truth about liberation. It's not just about breaking external constraints. It's about understanding and releasing the internal chains we've placed upon ourselves. His story lights the path we all must walk to find true freedom. Philip's transformation reveals 3 key truths about liberation. First, accepting our imperfections as part of our unique story, not flaws to be fixed. Second, finding the courage to leave paths that don't align with our true selves, no matter how much time we've invested. And third, understanding that real love, for ourselves or others, should never feel like a chain. The path to freedom isn't always straight. Sometimes it demands we face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. But as Philip's story shows, each step toward authenticity, each chain we break, brings us closer to the life we're meant to live. This is the heart of what Human Bondage teaches us. True freedom isn't about a perfect, challenge-free life. It's about how we respond to life's imperfections. It's about choosing growth over comfort, authenticity over approval, and self-love over self-doubt. Dear friends, as we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Your chains, whatever they may be, don't define you. They're just temporary restraints waiting to be recognized and released. The power to break free has always been yours. If you found value in today's discussion, please share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Books4Soul, and turn on notifications to catch our weekly insights into life-changing books. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery, and I'll see you in our next exploration of wisdom through literature.